Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what we think is likely to happen next. We are going to be talking about the micro timeframes, so this is something that I would expect to play out relatively quickly versus that of what we do in the afternoon, which is all macro views. So as I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out guys, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. As you can kind of see here, we've got all the thumbnails from the latest videos on what is going on with Bitcoin. And, you know, we were talking a little about bullish setups, whether they were bullish or bearish. It did actually look like we needed to see some kind of movement to the upside here. This was over here on the 16th of April, but actually things took a more sinister turn, which we were kind of talking about the two different variable options in that video. Obviously, we were looking at a move to the downside overall, and it looks like yesterday's video also kind of showed us that directional move. So we're going to put another thumbnail on here for today, and we're going to go in and give us a brief update on what is going on. We'll start with 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧, as this is the one that's been tracking that bearish situation a little bit better than the smart money concepts. Now, I adjusted this ever so slightly from yesterday because we get an overextension on that fifth wave. So we were yesterday talking about a move into this area here. This was 29,520 to 29,656, and we were talking about how we might see an overextension because this 1.618 target all the way down here is at 28,961, and we obviously have to move down here if we want a bigger structure to appear. We can see that we have overextended above and beyond the 1 to 1.236 that you'd normally expect of a C wave, so things are starting to heat up more in a trend-based structure move to the downside. Let's go ahead and review where we currently are. What I'll do is I'm going to get rid of this fib. I'm going to get rid of this A, B, and C because we don't need that. And what we're going to do is we can see this contracting diagonal up into a wave 2, down into a wave 3, up into a wave 4, which actually is over here. And then we've got to come down into that final fifth wave movement. Okay, so it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, that overextension is actually there. Okay, a couple of different ways we can look at it. We could either do something like this, which also work. With not an over an extension and leave it like that. That's a neater variable, so I might just leave it like that for the simplicity of the video. And then we can kind of look at what's going on here overall. Okay, we'll leave it there just to keep it simple. So if we come into this, we can see that we've moved up. We found resistance on the 200 EMA. Okay, we're overbought now on the hourly as well. So the expectation is going to be that we just drop down towards this area here, which is between the 1.236 and the 1.618, puts us at the 28,704 and 28,946. That's the expectation. Invalidation, or something that would basically invalidate the structure, would be if price action comes up higher than 30,120. And yeah, that'd be right. So, yeah, that would be great. And this other one at 29,966 is for a bigger structure. Okay, so if that is the expectation, what does it look like? Well, it will look like this. We have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then finally 5 down over here. Okay, now why is this important? This is important because we have a 5-wave drop over here. Okay, and if I draw that in, we then have a wave 2. We have a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Taking us to a wave 3, past the 1.618 at 28,961, come up into a wave 4, and then down into a wave 5. That map right there, or that directional 53535, is essentially a trend-based structure according to 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧. So we'll be starting to trend to the downside at that point. We'll also be looking to maybe test that bottom trend line, lose that trend line, and of course we'll be talking about that move to the downside. Now once you complete a 53535 or a trend impulsive 5-wave structure, we'll be looking for a 3-wave corrective structure back up into those highs before dropping back down again. Typically, this can be anything if it's a B wave, so you could retrace 100% all the way to the top, get a double top at 31,000, or you could just, you know, barely tap into maybe 28,000 and then drop again, right, if it's a B wave. Alternatively, if it's a wave 2, we'll be looking for 50 to 88.2% retracement back to the upside after completing such a structure. So ultimately here for Bitcoin, it looks like we are in this move to the downside. Now, if I go ahead and measure our current area here, we can see that we are getting rejected on that 38.2% right now, which happens to coincide really nicely. See right here, perfect 38.2% retracement. Is it on there or is it a little bit lower? Let me have a look. No, that looks more like 50% retracement, to be fair. Yeah, it's actually a little bit higher than the 38.2, and it looks like it's a little bit lower at the moment than the 50% level, but we're very, very close. So it does look like we're getting ready for a bit of a reversal to the downside. My expectation is that we find ourselves with 5 waves, but it can be a complicated 5 waves because the wave 1 and wave 5 have the ability to be diagonals. And so the wave 1 was a contracting diagonal, big wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that, and it contracts down. We could also get an ending diagonal, which would basically have an overlap with wave 1 and wave 4, like that. We could also get an expanding diagonal, which would be something like this, and it expands out over time. So lots of different options in that last area, so we'll be aware of those. But for the most part, it looks like we've got a pretty good solid structure here starting to emerge for Bitcoin on this next directional move to the downside before we start to think about any consolidation or bounced move to the upside. Let's check out our smart money concepts. So our smart money concepts on the hourly did print the bearish change of character, and we can also see that we're just retracing back up, getting rejected on that equilibrium and 200 EMA area. Strong high at the moment, indicating that's not likely to get broken. We do have ourselves areas of selling pressure right up here, these red internal order blocks. We can see those, and we have a weak low and an internal order or buy block down here. Ultimately, it looks like we're going after some of these fair value gaps that have been left behind. So as we come down, we'll get a break of structure. Okay, so we'll get a change of character here. If price action comes down and breaks this low, we'll get ourselves a BOS, a break of structure down here, and essentially that's going to confirm that we are in a bearish state of play on our hourly chart. Again, this is just the hourly, so we don't want to read into it too much. We've got a minor bullish change of character here, but I don't think that's going to last very long. These things happen all the time, and they don't stick for too long. As you can kind of see, bearish change here, break of structure, but then we rallied on up, right? So ultimately, it does look like smart money concepts is aligned to the thinking of smart money, of Elliott wave theory. So smart money and Elliott wave theory seem to be pretty well aligned. And overall, it looks like we are in a structure like this, where we're going to have to be looking at that one. And then here, 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 and here at a slightly later stage. All in all, I expect that first fair value gap to get filled out, and then we would expect a move upwards. And once that move upwards is complete, we then continue with that 5-wave drop to the downside and probably take out a few of those other fair value gaps that were left behind previously. So ultimately, everything looks okay, structured out-wise, and we kind of get a good idea as to kind of where things are going within these structures that are appearing within the charts. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave the video right there. There's not terribly too much more to talk about on the smaller time frames. I'll be back this afternoon for a macro view on Bitcoin, so do join me for that. Other than that, guys, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.